that knows how to win. So excited to see what TCU brings to the table tonight with Jason Williams.
Setting the table, Alexis DeCosta. Para denied early by Andrew.
Man, yeah, Pete, we said it early, but Para is who Baylor needs to game plan against. So really strong start by Alicia Andrew in the middle there, taking her number.
Long serve by DeCosta evens us up at 1 apiece. Briseño digs it out. Elise McGee making her presence felt earlier, slamming it home.
Elise McGee, always a go-to player for Baylor, but certainly has stepped up even more so since Kendall Stowers' injury. Such a dynamic arm swing that she has on the outside, and she just finds a way to put the ball away.
Stowers out of the Baylor lineup since a head injury in mid-October. Point TCU, tied at 2. Bramschreiber started all 25 matches at libero for TCU. Wow, Biebenbay saying hello.
Manuela Biebenbay, such good connection with Avery Carlson in the middle on that shoot.
Ulafatu will put it in play for Baylor. TCU in system, paying it off there. Jalen Gibson. Gibson, the sophomore from San Antonio, will serve it up.
Good tough serve by Gibson.
Carlson turned away by Para. McGee. TCU sets the table. Gibson again. DeCosta digs it out. McGee comes up short. Now, when you see that, we just saw Elise McGee. Is that just a timing situation there?
Yeah, a little bit. It looked like her feet were there, but it wasn't exactly the set that she wanted, and so she just got there a little bit early.
Gibson, too much mustard on it. So back and forth we go from the Farrell Center.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open, but certainly every match matters this time of year. Every match matters all year long, but as we get 2 weeks out from that selection show, just trying to continue building resumes. Both of these programs trying to prove different things at this point, but every point counts.
Para tries to drop it over the net. Simpson returns. Biebenbay. Para got a piece of it, but overwhelmed.
Man, take another look at that. Carlson and Biebenbay, just whether it's in front of the setter, behind the setter, their connection is just too strong.
McGee with the runner out of bounds. Third unforced error for Baylor so far. We're back at 5 apiece.
Elise McGee, one of the most difficult topspin serves in the country. Certainly something that is a weapon, but high risk, high reward.
Para, the athlete, soars through the air and serves it up. Wow, dumped over the net by Simpson, but just out of bounds. Gonna call it a net violation. Check that. So Para, the Texas transfer, just getting lathered up, but again, out of bounds. Another bad serve here we've seen tonight. Unforced errors all around, 6 apiece. Ibembe, the junior from Cameroon. Parra blasted over the net. Carlson sets for Simpson. And it's saved by Gibson. And the Horned Frogs make a mistake. Knowles couldn't get it to work.
Audrey Knowles, the 5th year, a player that was at TCU when Jason Williams arrived and just kind of helped to carry that culture over. When there's transition, there's always potential challenges, but man, Jason Williams hopped in first year and made a big splash. Thankfully, players like Audrey Knowles kind of helped build that bridge.
Allie Andrew powers it over the net. Parra digs it out. Gibson. Andrew returns the favor, digging it out for Baylor. Knowles there, making no mistake. Cranks it and rips it.
What a swing. Such a heavy arm swing that Audrey Knowles has. Baylor Vision crew gonna let us look at it again, but man, just did a really good job of seeing the gap in Baylor's defense and exploiting it.
22 kills last year for Knowles in their win over Baylor in 2022. She is 6 all time for the Horned Frogs in kills. In system, Allie check. Nice dig by TCU. Baylor looks to get it going again. There's Gibson hitting the floor, keeping it alive. Parra, heady play, drops it over the net. Briseño digs. Wise move by Gibson. She watched that one float just out of bounds. Megan Walsh from Palos Verdes, California, flirts with the net, gets it over. Riley Simpson, too much on that.
Wow, we've talked a lot about Baylor's pin hitters all season long, and Riley Simpson is one of those. She's done such a good job of stepping in on the outside, taking sets like that that are out of system, and having no problem putting the ball away.
So Avery Carlson will put it in play for the Bears. Carlson 10 aces over her last 2 games. Check. Gibson with the laser beam, too long. Baylor moves ahead 9-8. The reigning Big 12 Rookie of the Year. Carlson serves it up. Wow, some nice play at the net. And they'll give Knowles and TCU the point. We are tied at 9. Good look at Sarah Sylvester there, who had a hand in that as well.
Yeah, definitely intense net play by TCU.
Briseño, acrobatic move to keep it in play. Check pumps it across the net. Parra digs it out. Sylvester. Knowles is denied by Simpson. Here goes Gibson. Dunking on the Bears.
Wow, Gibson on the right side, that strong cross-court shot. Baylor defense lined up and ready for it, but just a little bit too much heat from TCU.
Sophia Keene unable to make the play there. Wow, Andrew cranks the right hand and delivers it.
Alicia Andrew in the middle for Baylor. There was a match, gosh, a month ago that she was 10 out of 10. No errors all night long.
Knowles goes cross court, out of the reach of Avery Carlson, who sprawled out for it.
TCU doing a really good job of mixing up their offense, finding Knowles on the outside, on the right side, and making it really hard to scout against.
DaCosta backs up Briseño, who keeps it in play. Sylvester tries to find the soft spot in the Baylor defense, can't do it. Check can! The 6'4" sophomore delivers the goods. Gibson, who has operated so often tonight from high above the net, able to locate another soft spot in the Baylor defense.
3 kills on the night already for Gibson, and all done with such aggression, really kind of mixing up Baylor's defense and making them key against her.
Making it look easy as she just skies.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to have a vantage point that high up in the air, but I imagine it's advantageous.
It looks like a lot of fun for her.
Cecily Bramschreiber puts it in play. Biebenbay puts it out of play. Point Baylor.
Wow, just could not have drawn that up better. Perfect pass by Briseño to start that, and then Avery Carlson connecting so well with Manuela Biebenbay.
Ulafatu serves it up. Knowles.
That'll work.
Biebenbay gets a piece of it. DaCosta. McGee over her head. Sets it up for Bree. McGee. Gibson. Here comes Baylor. No look by Carlson, almost worked out. Gibson tries to drop it over the net with the featherly touch. And with the power comes back with McGee, but Parra is there to deny her.
TCU block has been everything this season. They rank 18th in the nation, 3rd in the Big 12 with 2.64 blocks per set. Certainly something they'll want to utilize against this big power offense Baylor has.
McGee, oh man, hammers it home.
Oh my goodness, take another look at that. That one, some just like kind of even hurt you from the sidelines. Wow.
If we had like a nail in the floor that needed to get hammered down, like that would have done the trick.
That would have been effective.
That would have
yeah.
done it. Here comes that serve we talked about earlier. Pumped over the net by Bree Green. The grad transfer from Plano, Texas.
Imagine he enjoyed the taste of that and is looking for a little bit more of that tonight.
Melanie Parra trying to make her coach proud. Knowles with those quick hands locates the spot and drops it over. And there's the 5'11" junior.
He's really at every level, but man, also speaks to Ryan McGuire and the coaching tree that he's built, just in his way that he can develop people underneath him. You see that in Jason Williams, you see that in Sam Merker, and a lot of other coaches across the nation. Trevor Johnson, who's at Liberty now, Shelby Livingstone also at Liberty.
Yeah, the Ryan McGuire coaching tree is strong and long. Knocked out of bounds. Baylor point. Biebenbay will put it in play, as there is Coach Ryan McGuire, the winningest coach in Baylor history. Jump serve from Biebenbay. TCU gets the point there. Lily Nicholson was the closest one to it.
Alicia Andrew called over the net, and while you don't want to see those mistakes, you'd always rather see one of those calls because the player's being overly aggressive.
Yeah, those are aggressive mistakes. They're not miscues as far as your mind is concerned. Sylvester just turns away Simpson. Sylvester, a TCU record, 13 kills earlier in the season in September. Most ever in a 3-set match. You see why here. 13 blocks, rather. And that drifts out of bounds. Another point, TCU.
Just out of bounds. Allie checked the right side for Baylor, but such a weapon in the back. And you just look at the success that both of these men have had, and it just couldn't happen to better people. You know, men of faith, men with great families, guys that got into it for the right reasons. And so I think when you see them get to play on these big stages, you can't help but smile and be excited for them.
Now lowers the boom there. TCU goes to 2014, 5 points away from taking this first game. Megan Walsh will put it in play. Baylor had it in system, but Kendall Murphy too long. Murphy tries to save it and sliding to try to make a play and keep it alive. Can't do it.
TCU coming off of 2 tough losses against Iowa State, and they really must have had a good week of practice, good solid reps, because they have jumped in and kind of been in the driver's seat this whole set.
So we see Murphy now coming alive, getting on the board, 22-15, point Baylor.
Kendall Murphy, one of the standout recruits for Baylor, the outside hitter. Brian McGuire, just as he's been at Baylor, has really kind of created this brand for Baylor volleyball and just nationwide, and has been able to pull in some really, really top-ranked recruits.
Parra paints the corner. And that is why she is so good, to be able to rise up, leaning to her left and hit it back, pinpoint accuracy to the right side of the court. 23-15, TCU leads. Nicholson keeps it alive. Knowles tried to put it to sleep, couldn't do it. Ball was dug out by Baylor, but didn't make it across the net. Looked like a little miscommunication there.
Yeah, Avery Carlson, great dig by her, but you know, usually she gets the second ball, so every now and then when a setter gets a really good dig, there's a little bit of miscommunication probably.
So I wasn't wrong.
No,
Yeah.
you never are, Pete.
Oh, yeah. We need to introduce you to the inner circle I roll in. And I don't have an inner circle. I don't know that I'm that important, but you get the drift.
Oh, man, I beg to differ.
TCU set point is Baylor trying to claw their way back into this game. So TCU able to take the first set, 25-16, a surprising start to this one. A shaky start, as we just saw, from the Farrell Center. Horned Frogs going to try to take advantage and capitalize on the momentum. As we get a look at some of the TCU Horned Frogs, Lily Nicholson, the freshman on your screen now, and there's Coach Jason Williams. Spent 7 years at Baylor. This is his first game back in Waco as a head coach.
Yeah, first game back in Waco on his birthday, no less. Certainly a lot to celebrate for Jason Williams today.
Wow.
I don't know the number of which birthday.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't need to know.
We'll
that.
go 30.
Yeah. Two great schools. Baylor and TCU have been rivals for so long.
They have, and certainly, you know, two private institutions close in Central Texas. And so, you know, you kind of see the programs have had different levels of, you know, certain years, Baylor competing for an NCAA championship, things like that, but they definitely recruit against a lot of the same kids, regardless of what the seasons have looked like. And I think it's just similar kids are drawn to both.
TCU, was that on your radar at all?
It was on my radar because it was close to home. Lived in Dallas, and so, you know, you grow up going to TCU. But I said, I'm going to go far from home. I'm going to Waco, Texas.
Wow, Parra falling back like a fall-away jumper. And now she digs it out. Carlson with the dig herself. Check, slaps it over the net. The set, and Gibson tries to spike it home. But again, Baylor keeps it alive. McGee in system, drops it over the net. Gibson. Briseño with the dig. McGee is set up. Too hot to handle for the Horned Frogs.
Elise McGee, 3 kills so far on the night. Good start so far, but not necessarily what we're used to seeing from her. TCU's done a good job of finding a way to kind of get her number, highlight her name on the scouting report, and slow her down, which is so hard to do.
The libero, Lauren Briseño. Wow, that was a great serve. Sitting over here from our vantage point, I don't know how that was in bounds, but it was.
I know, it did look out, which is just kind of the mark of a good server, right? If you can get it that close. So well done to Lauren Briseño.
From San Antonio, Texas, earned herself a scholarship last season and has been rolling along. Wow! Rolling to the ground there after getting hit. I mean, that was on fire. Hope she is all right. A hush over the crowd here at the Farrell Center, and for good reason.
Wow, yeah. Lauren Briseño is officially tougher than I'll ever be after watching that.
What is that like when you get, I mean?
Well, I mean, that had a lot of heat behind it. I think anytime the ball is near your nose, near your face, it's kind of that instant. I mean, we've all felt that when it hits your nose and your eyes just start to water. But that one really, really was just, man, she just took it square on, and she's back out there. I mean,
she's going to stay in the game.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, she's my hero.
Wow, let's get another look at this.
And Audrey Knowles, just so much heat on that swing from Audrey Knowles.
And look at this, one tough customer.
Oh my goodness.
Lauren Briseño will stay on the floor. And stealing a moment for a second, TCU once again. TCU gets the point. Elise McGee palms to the sky.
Yeah, the set just a little tighter than she wanted and couldn't get out of the net on that one.
Here is Audrey Knowles. Waxahachie. Check. Skies above, and with the left hand lowers the boom.
Allie Check, just such a rock star sophomore. She came in and played like she was never a freshman last year. And so has kind of been this solid right side hitter for Ryan McGuire that's been so consistent and really just brings such energy to the match every single night.
4-3 TCU. Cecily Bramschreiber will put it in play, the junior from Lucas, Texas. Carlson, also from Lucas, sets it up for McGee. puts it over the net. Point Baylor. Stop that, right? Para digs it out. Carlson for Bibembe. And the junior from Cameroon will get another crack at it here. Knowles saves it. Simpson takes a crack at it. Here's Para. And they're going to say she came over the net.
Wow. What a play by Baylor.
Some beautiful ball underway right now. Gibson. Nall sets it. Para too strong. Check that. They'll say that Baylor got a piece of it. Point TCU.
Yeah, Audrey Knowles with that out-of-system set to the outside, and Para just was able to find a finger of Baylor's block. What a swing by Para on the outside.
Simpson. Para with the left hand lob. Elevates.
Man.
And floats it over the net. She's having fun.
She is having fun. You can just kind of tell certain players have this looseness to them while they're out there. And Para has been that all night long for TCU.
Nothing Simpson could do there. Excuse me, Gibson can do there as Simpson delivers the blow. Three kills tonight for Bibembe, who puts it in play. Para. Baylor digs it out. And you know that Baylor wishes they could have that one back. Sophia Keene.
Yeah, Sophia Keene in the back row, and then Para back to serve again. Man, I mean, TCU 7, Baylor at 6, similar to the way that our first set started, right, Pete?
And here is Para, two-time National Player of the Week from Sinaloa, Mexico, to the University of Texas, transferring to TCU, her team. Another miscue there, giving Baylor a point. Gibson couldn't handle it. We are tied at 7, one touchdown apiece. And into the game, and effective immediately is Bree Green.
Man, take another look at that. That fast tempo set right to that outside pin, and Bree Green does a good job of seeing the block and finding a way to power through.
And here's Megan Walsh, the freshman from Southern California, where they're born to play volleyball. Simpson digs it out. Para drives it across the net. Simpson. Confusion, point TCU. Bears don't like it at all.
Don't like it at all. Ryan McGuire, absolutely he's going to pull a challenge.
Look at you. Yeah, you were all over that too, huh?
Take another look at that swing. Oof. That looks pretty into me.
Yeah, that looks pretty into me too. Coach McGuire with some words of encouragement.
Yeah, definitely a good challenge. Is that kind of that 9-7, if that is TCU's point, would switch the momentum quite a bit in this set.
Officials taking another look at it, and we'll take another gander. All right, let's see this, Katie.
Here it is, here it is, here it is. Oh. I would have like put up, I wouldn't have bet on it because that's NCAA illegal.
Of course,
yeah. But.
Although you did sound pretty sure.
That angle's, I feel very confident that is it. That one angle was a little dicey.
Here we go. Whoa, it is overturned. Coach McGuire and Katie Smith. Hats off to you both.
A good call by Ryan McGuire. For every one that I'm right, I'm wrong 5 to the next one, so stay tuned.
Alexis DaCosta will put it into play. Remember, Baylor is without one of their best players. Freshman Kendall Stowers as Baylor, without Stowers, is making noise. Ali check.
Ali check with the solo block on Audrey Knowles. Could not have lined that up better.
Carlson for McGee. That combination is killer. But Parra digs it out. No, too long. Baylor finding some rhythm.
Yeah, they really are. Certainly not a position TCU wants to put them in. Baylor at home, in rhythm. Very, very scary.
TCU leads 1-0. Parra plants it. 10-9. We have called her name a lot. 6 kills and 6 digs. She's done it all.
She really has. Number 2 in the Big 12 in kills, and we've seen a lot of that tonight.
And McGee just in. Another point for Baylor.
5 kills on the night for Elise McGee. We talked about her in the open. We talked about how big she's been for Baylor on the outside this season, so no surprise that she's showing up in the second set.
And you mentioned, too, she has risen to the occasion with Kendall Stowers out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Sylvester, dug out by Carlson. McGee, denied by Knowles. Here comes Parra. Too hot to handle for Carlson. Point TCU.
Man, they do such a good job of mixing up Parra's opportunities. They find her on the outside. They find her on the right side. We saw her right there come from the middle of the court. Just so impressive.
Floating across the net. Check tried to find the soft spot. Carlson for McGee. Off the hand of Bramschreier. Nothing TCU can do. There is Baylor, Biebenbay and McGee. Ulufatu puts it in play. Parra drives it across the net. Last touch by Baylor. Another point for TCU.
8 kills already on the night for Parra. Certainly not seeming like she's slowing down anytime soon.
McGee drives it across the net. Parra with the left hand. Now it's Gibson. Baylor will get the point. So here comes Elise McGee. If I'm the opposition, every time she serves, I'm a little anxious.
Yeah, you're on your heels a little bit.
Watch this, folks. Boom. Another point for Baylor.
You know, it's funny, Pete. Very distinct serve Elise McGee has where you throw the ball really high. actually, believe it or not, the top spin serve I used to do, but now I just watch and I'm like, my knees, my hips, my feet. Like, I'm just like, how was there a day? And it wasn't to this level by any means, but man, it looks like it would hurt me now.
Oh, Brasinho lays out for it. Can't convert the pancake.
Brasinho, mind you, if you just tuned in, took an aggressive ball to the head no less than 10 minutes ago and just stayed on the court like a champ. She's been digging all over the place, serve receiving, everything. And I might bring it up 6 more times because I'm just so impressed by the tenacity of this player.
I don't know if we can show it again without a discretion for the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Para. Just velocity on it every time she gets a hold of the volleyball, but Baylor again makes another play. And they have the lead right now as we head into a timeout on the floor. 3-point advantage for Baylor as they try to even it up. We'll step aside.
Carlson's finding her not always just a perfect set with exactly what you want. So Elise McGee has managed her swings well and found a way to hit very efficiently, even with the number of reps she's getting.
Biebenbay comes out swinging. Knowles just didn't get that one the way that she'd hoped. Goes out of bounds, and Baylor now up by 4. Biebenbay from Cameroon has made quite the impact this season with Baylor. Andrew drops it over the net, but point Horned Frogs. So Paro put it in play with 8 kills and 6 digs. Looking for her first ace. Oh, Carlson, nice move. But nicer.
Wow.
Green drills it.
You don't see that often where Avery Carlson dumps and doesn't score. But TCU did a great job of transitioning that to the middle.
Brasinho. And Simpson bangs it over the net. A nice dig by Para, who tries to pay it off herself. Over the shoulder like Willie Mays goes Brasinho. We've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. TCU point.
Riley Simpson did everything she could to get her feet there, but the ball was just a little bit wide and went outside that red and white antenna.
16-15. Baylor's lead has been trimmed to 1. Two-time All-Big 12 Player of the Week, Melanie Para, set to serve as Coach Ryan McGuire states his case. Falling on deaf ears right now. Too strong for Para. And Baylor's advantage is 2. Carlson, 10 aces in her last 2 games. Trying to make it 11 in her last 3. Baylor continues to battle and goes ahead by 3.
Para with 23 attempts on the night already. We haven't seen her make a lot of mistakes, but they're bound to happen eventually.
So 18-15, TCU will take a timeout. TCU leading. Been on the shelf for Baylor for close to a month now.
Yeah, such a strong start for her freshman season. You know, there's always kind of this fear when a freshman is so hyped up of, oh gosh, like, is that fair? Is that fair to put so much pressure on them? And Kendall Stowers just never disappointed. I mean, showed up every single match and put the ball away on the outside for Baylor. Didn't look like a freshman at all.
And she doesn't look happy on the sidelines
No,
either.
she doesn't. She's a gamer.
That says a lot about somebody. Hopefully they can get her back just in front of us. Allie Check keeps it in play, but Simpson can't finish the job. TCU gets the point, and now back within a point. Hey, we were talking about freshmen. When you were a freshman, did you feel like did you hit a wall at some point during the season just because it's so much different, the scheduling?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. I had an injury my freshman year, so then my redshirt freshman year, I think it was the kind of getting into, the difference between watching from the sidelines and then being a part of it. But it is a long season. I mean, you look at, we talked about it earlier, but you start 2-a-days in August. You're really here all summer.
Both of these ball clubs chomping at the bit to get back to play. And we'll do it right now. Baylor, TCU tied at 18. Carlson sets up for Ali Check, who lowers the left hand. Third kill for Check. Let's get another look at it.
Wow, what a swing by Ali Check on the outside.
The way that you guys put the rotation on that ball, basically serving up curveballs at the opposition, is so impressive.
Yeah, I think there's more to it than people realize. Yeah, that there's kind of that finesse on the ball, side spin, top spin, what have you. But it's very, Ali Check is one of the best when it comes to ball contact.
Point Baylor, as Knowles couldn't make the contact she was looking for. Another timeout on the floor.
Facilities, but every detail of it is focused on the fan, the student experience, and just making the game day so special for student athletes. And so it's really fun to hear conversations for so long and that we're so close to getting to see it come to life.
And I'll say, just again, as somebody who's around college athletics, it's quite the recruiting tool. I mean, now you're going to have a situation where you come down I-35 and you've got this gem of a basketball arena on one side, and you got a beautiful football stadium on the other.
Right. I mean, I dare anyone to drive by and miss one of those.
Yeah. Which, if you think back, 10, 11 years ago, there wasn't either.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely a good thing for Baylor University, definitely a good thing for the city of Waco, and just kind of that partnership with the locations of those two major facilities.
No question. And here's tonight's version of Rocky Balboa. Brasinho.
What a jam.
Took a volleyball right off the face earlier. Battling, digs that one out. More than 800 digs in her career. That's another one for Brasinho. Para. Too much power for DaCosta. Point TCU. And set to serve is Taylor Raiola. Just into the game from Scottsdale, Arizona. Check, taps it over the net. Hara does the same.
Wow.
I mean, that's amazing. She hits it with her right and then back with her left.
Yeah, the athleticism of Melanie Para just continues to amaze.
That smile is for good reason. 10th kill of the night.
And look at that shot and then the quick arm swing to just be able to send it back over.
And Raiola gets us back going here. And another point for TCU. Momentum building for TCU after winning the first set. And here is Taylor Raiola, again, coming from good stock, as you might say, old school wise. Dad played 14 years in the NFL for the Lions, so she makes a bit of a miscue there. And her brother is the best high school football player in the country.
Wow.
He's a quarterback. He's going to Georgia.
The best?
Yeah, the best.
The best.
According to the experts.
I believe it.
Who I am not. But by the way, Taylor Raiola has had a great career herself.
That's amazing.
At TCU. See her dig that one out. Brasinho doing what she does. Bramshire. Parra again, Brasilio again.
Coming at us.
Just out of bounds as the ladies try to grab it. Too close to comfort, so it's now tied at 22. Check that, 23-22 TCU.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, wow, we made another mistake.
No, I didn't even correct you. I didn't notice.
Bramschreiber gets us in play.
Wow.
McGee gets us back to even.
What a swing by Elise McGee on the outside at the exact right moment. And take another look at that. Perfect set by Avery Carlson. That quicker set inside. Elise McGee handles it perfectly and behind the service line now.
Setting up what are one of the most exciting sequences in volleyball when Elise McGee unleashes that serve. Parra unleashes more power. Brasilio overwhelmed. Set point for TCU. Parra digs it out. Raiola tries to find the soft spot. Gibson.
Parra kind of just makes it work with a set that's not exactly what she wants.
Baylor, seems like everybody's in on the act. Musical chairs, and the music stops with a Baylor point.
So much fight from all 6 players in the white jerseys on that set point for TCU.
So here's Bibembe, tied at 24. Unforced error, point TCU. A hush over the crowd. That's one of the numbers where you can just hear the opposition celebrating. And this is the last player you want to see putting it in play.
Right.
For Coach Ryan McGuire.
Yeah, the only good news is that she can't be in the front row hitting, but we've seen that that doesn't even matter since she gets kills from the back row too.
TCU up 1 set now, looking for another here. Parra. McGee digs it out. And System Simpson is turned away. Point TCU. So the momentum clearly. Here's Alexis DaCosta set to tee it up. As we are running in the 3rd set from Waco, Texas. Knuckleball fell short of Bramschreiber. We mentioned Cecily Bramschreiber. Her sister is here in attendance today. Chanel Bramschreiber, who played at Baylor.
Yeah, Chanel Bramschreiber, a name that Baylor fans know and love. Played at Baylor, had a graduate year that she went to Wisconsin, and so she is here in the gym tonight. People are excited to see her. Also, her mom, a director of a volleyball club, Mad Frog in Dallas. And so volleyball certainly runs in the blood of the Bramschreiber family.
And there's Taylor Raiola, the senior from Scottsdale. Bangs the ball to the floor and now puts us in play. McGee almost shut down by Sylvester, but shoots it back across the net upon the second opportunity. Parra pounds it, but DaCosta digs. And Elise McGee locates and gives Baylor another point. Raiola tried to lay out and make it happen, but not much anybody could do in that situation.
There really isn't. Carlson out of system a little bit, and Elise McGee says, no problem. Let me power this ball down the line.
Bembe. 2 unforced errors early on in this set for Baylor, and we saw that early in the 1st set. And you can't afford those right now when you're down 2-0.
Yeah, you really can't.
Can you tell I'm upset?
You seem livid.
Trying to, you know. So here's Cecily Bramschreiber. TCU rolls on as Bree Green floats and delivers.
TCU getting those first 2 sets and knowing that they're getting Baylor on an off night so far. I think one thing that we're seeing here is TCU saying, let's get in and get out of the Farrell Center in 3. Let's do everything we can to not let Baylor find their momentum. My hiccup was because I almost got hit in the head with the ball, and that was terrifying. And Lauren Briseño was less scared than that. And mine rolled and gave me about 5 seconds preparation.
Nice job, by the way. Quick hands.
Thank
You showed
you.
quick hands before the game, batting a ball away during warm-ups, and right there as well.
Just self-defense. Miss McGee saw that roll shot from Parra and dug it up perfectly.
Bramschreiber. Gibson. TCU really in a rhythm right now. But they wait on that one.
Wow.
That was like a bunch of outfielders and an infielder. Not sure who's going to take a fly ball as it drops to the ground.
Yeah, you can take another look at that. It's, oh, everyone's bummed. What happened? And then I do not even know from a physics standpoint how that landed there.
The surprise on Elise McGee's face was wonderful. Last touch by Baylor, TCU point. 5-3, TCU up now.
Jason Williams really just showing what a strategic coach he is. I think that's what he's kind of always been known for, his strategy, his game planning, and his ability to get his team to execute.
Baylor caught napping this time, as it was Czech who couldn't get there. All right, I'm going to ask you a question now.
Oh, boy.
At some point, we got to believe that Jason Williams has the answers to the test against his old foe, right?
Yeah.
Or his old friend who is now a foe. Call them frenemies now.
Yeah.
He and Ryan McGuire. But, I mean, he beat Baylor last year. And tonight, regardless of the outcome, his team is certainly ready to play.
Yeah, they are. That is always interesting because I think when you have a relationship like Ryan McGuire and Jason Williams, so much of what Jason Williams has also learned is for Briar, like a lot of coaches, wants to see his players playing to their potential. And so I think when you see that frustration out of him, it's not often, but it's when there's things falling short of what they know how to do.
Bramschreiber couldn't corral it. McGee, another kill. 7-4, if you're just joining us, TCU surprisingly taking the first 2 sets. Elise McGee and Baylor trying to avoid a sweep and get back in this one to win it. A little deception by McGee off the serve, but nothing that Green can't handle. Taylor Rayola, real spark plug off of the bench for the Horned Frogs. Been positive all night, on and off the floor as play continues. Just out of bounds. Baylor catches a break. Lauren Briseño.
Good look at that Bramschreiber crew behind her on the service line.
The Bramschreibers, everybody's kind of got their colors on.
Yeah.
We got Baylor, we got TCU, and we have Knowles overshooting the mark. Another point for Baylor. I mean, now if you're TCU, you kind of got them by the throat on the ground. You don't want to let them off the ground.
Yeah.
Briseño. Knowles. Dig by Briseño. Knowles again. Ali Check turns her away. 4-point flurry for Baylor. 8-6 is the score.
Ali Check with that block, just textbook, straight down. Something that TCU will have to think about next time they go up to swing.
I mean, legit, if I was going to get to the net and make plays like Ali Check, I'd have to wear a helmet.
Speaking of.
Like another one. No fear in these cats along the net.
Yeah, what a dynamic player Baylor has in Ali Check on the right side.
That time, Biebenbay,
Yeah,
but they both raised.
I mean, they just next to each other, they're so dynamic.
Parra digs it out. Green tries to stop the bleeding. Briseño sets for check. Another point for Baylor. The Bears starting to feel it. First lead of the set.
Yeah, definitely getting some momentum. Jason Williams calling a timeout, rightfully so, trying to slow that down.
And Jason Williams needs a timeout. What have you seen from Baylor and Briseño? From San Antonio, gets a set. Knowles. Bit of a knuckleball. Simpson gets it back over the net. Gibson can't return. 6-0 scoring run for Baylor.
Volleyball certainly a game of momentum, and Baylor in the driver's seat right now. We see Jason Williams make a sub to try to mix up what they're working with.
Julia Adams onto the floor as we see Briseño again. 2 assists for Briseño, 6 digs. And 1 fastball off the face, if you were with us earlier.
Yeah.
Briseño elevates. Wow, Simpson. And the celebration for Baylor. Smiles all around.
When we finished 2 sets, Baylor had 2 blocks all night long, and it was definitely something that was impacting their game, and it is evident that that was a conversation at halftime. Can you call it? I call it halftime.
Yeah, that's
split sets. And you can tell how big of a difference that's made in their momentum in set 3.
And the momentum continues. It is an 8-0 run for Baylor. TCU is still 4 points behind, just 4 points behind in this set, but it feels like it's much more than that as the gap continues to widen. Briseño digs, check. Parra, you haven't called her name in a while. Point Baylor.
Baylor making no mistakes right now, trying to just keep the momentum of Lauren Briseño's serve and score. Hitting .250, we talked about after 2 sets, they'd only been hitting .067, I believe it was. And so to see that switch really speaks to this 13-8 lead that Baylor has.
Briseño continues to fight. Gibson. Parra plays it back towards the line. Set up for Simpson. Another point Baylor. It is a 10-0 run. TCU takes the timeout. Briseño will drop the ball off for the official and talk it over with her teammates. Kreck's mom, Sarah Silverstein Kreck, were both setters for Baylor, and they both wore #1, just like Kreck does.
Yeah, I feel like Jason is incredible, and people say great things about him, and I'm like, sorry, man, Corey runs the show. I mean, if you open the Baylor record books, this woman is all over it, and it's like crazy statistics that you're just like, what? She was just playing a different game on someone else's level, but.
And it didn't stop there. Callie, their daughter, also a Baylor setter who wore #1.
Yeah.
TCU finally stops the bleeding after an 11-0 run.
Callie, the setter at Baylor, such a dynamic player, such impact on this Baylor program, and then had one final year And so she went and played for her dad at TCU his first year, which is kind of a cool storybook ending.
Beyond. So TCU finally gets an opportunity at service. Check. Gibson digs it out. Sets the table for Parra. Line drive returned by Baylor. Gibson tries to drop it off. Check saves it. Dug out by Parra, who makes it look easy. Last touch by Baylor. Check that last touch by TCU, point Baylor.
Baylor with a 16-9 lead. Kind of similar to the reversal that we saw with the lead of TCU in that first set.
Ulafatu will put it in play for Baylor. (16-9). Gibson drills it, and Briseño says, hey, hold on. I'll keep this going. Sylvester. Briseño again bats it away. Ulatafu, wow. You felt the momentum building for Baylor during that volley, and Simpson slams the door on it.
Yeah, Baylor really showing us what they're capable of here in this third set. And probably Ryan McGuire saying, this is my team. This is what we were missing.
Ulafatu, who just had the incredible dig, puts it in play. Parra! I mean, it seemed like Parra took off from the back line and ended up near the net and with a point.
As long as she didn't step on the line or take off it, if she can fly, she can do it.
Ooh, Sylvester dumps it over the net.
Another look at that block. Really kind of the first thing, the first stop we've seen on Baylor in what, 10 points, probably like that?
Nicholson puts it in play. And now TCU answering the Baylor run, rattling off 3 quick points of their own. 17-12. Nicholson, the freshman, going to try to keep it going from McKinney. Last touch by TCU, point Baylor.
Riley Simpson doing a good job of powering through that block on the outside for Baylor. Now has 8 kills, 32 attempts on the night for Riley Simpson.
Sylvester and Gibson chatting about it. Here's Alexis DaCosta. Falls short. So Taylor Raiola checks back into the game. The senior from Scottsdale. With the running serve. Baylor looks to return it. Biebenbay puts it over the net, but Parra and the Horned Frogs answer.
Take another look. Wow, that athleticism from Parra on the outside. She covered so much of that net.
Raiola. McGee tries to hammer it home. Sylvester says no. Carlson sets McGee, another try. Raiola sets for Parra. Wow, TCU flying back into this set.
And yeah, the force that Parra had on that swing was just too much for Baylor to stop.
Baylor on their heels, out of system and trying to fight from behind as TCU saves it. Carlson for McGee. Sylvester turns it away. Here's Gibson. TCU again. Nothing run for TCU. We get a replay and a timeout on the floor. All right, Katie Smith, what do you do here if you're Baylor?
Everyone home, you play everyone away, similar to basketball. And then COVID hits and they switch to this back-to-back night. You know, you get the opponent either at home or away, and you play them twice, which really brings that home court advantage into things. And now with the additional teams, it's some teams you play twice, same teams you play once. And so it's tough to keep up with, I'll be honest.
Bibembe, tough to keep up with there for TCU as she powers her team to a point and a three-point advantage, and will serve it in. The junior from Cameroon. Rayola digs it out. Para with a punishing return just out of bounds.
Para only 5'11", but just really elevates on her swing.
She reminds me of like a two-guard in basketball who, before you know it, she starts at the three-point line and then she's dunking on you. DaCosta, incredible save. The crowd loved it.
Wow.
Gibson, too much. Big smile for Gibson. It's TCU hanging around.
They are. Baylor getting to that 20-point mark, only needing a run of 5 to take TCU down and keep this match going.
Bram Schreiber, with her family in attendance, including her sister, a former Baylor star, puts it in play, and Baylor able to get the point.
Who other than Elise McGee to put the ball away at this crucial time?
Carlson into the game for Baylor, and she will serve. Gibson with the heater off the hands of Briseño, who has been in the line of fire all night long. Couldn't dig that one out. Lead is now 3. And there is Lauren Briseño. We talked about it. Took a volleyball to the head earlier in the game, but didn't miss a minute. And she hasn't missed a beat either as we see her return it there. Para has been a nightmare for Baylor tonight. The check. Keeping Coach Jason Williams up with that.
Check really doing a lot of things well for Baylor in this third set. A couple really dynamic blocks that were well timed that kind of started that momentum switch in that 10-point run, and then that kill to get point 22 for the Bears.
Gibson says we're not done yet. She has had an outstanding night.
Yeah.
5 blocks. Check that, hold on. We got 9 kills for Gibson and 12 digs.
Hitting 250 on the right side for TCU.
And here's Melanie Parr with 15 kills on the night, looking for an ace. Simpson over the net after a little bit of trouble from the Horned Frogs. And right back in the face of Green. Baylor now on the brink of a victory here, or at least closing in a 4-point advantage. 2 points away from their first set victory.
Another look at that block. Yeah, Riley Simpson is just too good, too athletic, too quick for a tight set like that to get past her.
Literally rising to the occasion. Briseño soars and delivers it. Bibembe tried to change her mind in midair. Didn't work out. Megan Walsh, the freshman from Palos Verdes, California, and Palos Verdes High School, will check in to put it in play.
Unforced error behind the service line. Definitely not what Jason Williams wants to see at point 24 for Baylor.
Set point for Baylor. First time we've said that tonight. Ulafatu going to try to put the finishing touches on this set. Parr pumps it across. Briseño couldn't do anything with it. TCU again, sticking around.
I was going to say, Baylor certainly in the driver's seat, but TCU showing so much fight in this third set. You can tell how bad they want to wrap this match up.
Lily Nicholson, another freshman from McKinney, will put it in play. Bibembe trying to finish the set off. Returned by Parra. Simpson. Too strong. Baylor gets the set. And they are right back in it here in the Farrell Center. Big 12 volleyball at its best. Back and forth we go. We'll come back with the fourth set. Horn Frog.
Yeah, that'd probably be above those things on this list.
What kind of shoes did you wear playing volleyball?
Like what brand?
I mean, just like...
I was going to say volleyball shoes, but that wouldn't have been helpful. So usually Nike, they're almost a... Honestly, the closest thing I can usually compare them to is a basketball shoe, but usually less ankle support maybe. So...
any special color or anything?
Oh, usually we had team shoes, so I feel like sometimes we'd get like a couple choices or something like that, but they were usually green, gold. They were gray at one time, but now with the Baylor rebrand, they're pretty locked in.
Did you ever have an all-green shoe?
You know, I don't know that I did, but that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I think it would have been awesome.
Feels like a missed opportunity.
Both teams looking confident, and they both have reasons to build coming into this fourth set. As we see Sarah Sylvester talking it over with Nall and Gibson. And set to tee it up is Lily Nicholson. Baylor gets the point to start it off, and McGee gets another huge smile.
Making 12 kills on the night for Elise McGee. We talked about her in the Open. We talked about how big of an impact she would have on this match, and she is not disappointing.
DaCosta returns. Wow, DaCosta again. This one's coming towards us. Allie Andrew apologizing to the...
I think there's a ball kid down there. I hope. I hadn't seen someone the whole time, so I'm like, who is she? Is she talking to us?
No, she wasn't talking to us. But the hustle really says something as Rayola, we see, checks into the game for Knowles, and she will serve it. Rayola, who's appeared in 227 sets across 71 matches. Kind of a lighthouse of experience for TCU as she puts it back into play. Briseño slides to another dig. More than 800 on her career. And a heads-up play by the freshman Nicholson to stay away from that as it falls out of bounds.
And take another look at that. Elise McGee running it all the way to the line for TCU. Love that hustle.
Rayola and her team continues to fight Rayola's dad as she digs it out there. Dominic playing 14 years in the NFL. TCU. And Para, bring it. Another point for the Horned Frogs.
And 17 kills for Melanie Para on the outside for the Horned Frogs.
Para, just 13 years old when she got called up to the Mexican national team.
13?
Yeah.
What were you doing when you were 13, Pete?
Playing a lot of video games and watching a lot of sports.
You were 14 when the national team called.
Yeah.
Shoot, a little late.
I was trying to muscle my way onto the baseball travel team in Radnor, Pennsylvania. Which, by the way, didn't go
you
well.
And Melanie, similar paths.
Briseño sets for McGee. Bramschreiber keeps it in play, and Rayola sets. Para over her shoulder. Carlson. Whistle, TCU point. Bramschreiber with her team up 2 will put it into play, and her family looking on over her shoulder. McGee dominates the net again. 14 kills for the junior. .64 from San Antonio, Texas, out of Clark High School. Look out. McGee showing she can play up front and in the back with the dig. Rayola sets. Gibson tries to drop it over the net and does. Gibson, who taught herself how to juggle during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, pulled off a circus shot there.
I would love to see that. There's got to be a video somewhere.
Honestly, anybody juggling will get my attention. Really. Because it's something that I don't know how to do, so I just look on in amazement.
So I envy it.
Yes. Rayola plays it cool, digs it out. Para delivers a laser beam, and Briseño battles. Gibson cranks it. Briseño can't get there in time. Yeah, she taught herself how to juggle in 2 days during the quarantine.
Wow.
This is all according to the TCU notes.
You wouldn't add that if it wasn't true, right? Unless they just wanted some yo-yos like us to sound crazy.
I actually have, as we see TCU get another point, I had a guy who was kind of a mentor of mine. He was a sports information director of Villanova. And you know, as a player, they'll send you a questionnaire and say, hey, fill it out. What's your favorite music?
Yeah.
And they had this player, as we see Baylor get a point, this guy Mark Plansky, who just never filled it out.
Okay.
So they decided that his favorite band was going to be like Pink Floyd, and his favorite movie was going to be Terms of Endearment. And my brother Michael and I, as kids, we were like, wow, Mark Plansky loves Terms of Endearment. Can you believe that?
I also love this movie.
My brother Michael, who loved Mark Plansky, would listen to Pink Floyd music to honor
Mark Plansky. And
Plansky.
this guy just didn't fill out his form. That's fun. But I gotta believe she juggles, right? I need that to be true.
She juggles.
She juggles. She would never miss her form.
4-point lead for Melanie Para and the Horned Frogs.
Another look. I mean, that set kind of came from behind her head.
Wow.
And she said, no problem.
I mean, here's Para, who won a championship with Texas in 2022, knows how to win.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of experience, to bring that into your locker room, such a smart move by Jason Williams, just being able to set.
TCU point is confirmed.
I've always thought they should have like some type of fan vote, whether it's a QR code or a texture vote of what they think will happen with the play, and see kind of what the people think. No one's asked me.
We'll put that in the recommendation box after the game. As Parra
I
goes
don't
long.
know. Maybe that could cause some angst in the arena. I haven't fully thought out how it would be executed. It's a work in progress.
Knowles, way too strong.
Yeah, I think Knowles was hoping to swing and hit the daylights out of that ball and hoping it would hit someone's finger, but it was just a little bit high.
Unforced error for Baylor. Gives a much needed point to TCU. They are now up 4. As we see Ulatafu, that's not like her, Ulafatu rather, to make a mistake. But Megan Walsh, the 5'9" freshman, puts it in play. Ebimbe turned away, point Baylor, as it was hit by Knowles, but deflected out of bounds. 10-7, TCU leads. DaCosta into the game with McGee. DaCosta going to serve it up.
DaCosta and Bresenia are really this kind of back row tag team that leads the charge in terms of Baylor serve, receive, defense, and gets them in system.
Wow. Sylvester bats it over the net. Point TCU, 11-7 is the advantage. Lily Nicholson will put it in play.
Wow, what a float serve by Nicholson.
Mesmerizing serve by the young lady who says, in her words, she's obsessed with the show Stranger Things.
Really, I found it kind of scary. My husband always wants to watch it. He brings it up like every year, and I'm like, not after 9 p.m.
Speaking of scary, McGee giving this TCU team nightmares all night long, and her team is down by 4 now. Parra, who plays that one just over the net. One of those, nobody was quite sure.
Yeah, you hate to see that on such a good serve from Ebimbe with the overpass.
Taylor Raiola back in the game to serve it up for TCU. Check.
Wow, Broomsdriver.
Yeah, couldn't do it again.
Love that tag team of the back row attack from Czech. So much heat, and then Elise McGee finding a way to put the ball away.
Another point TCU as Gibson spikes it down. Deflected by Baylor out of bounds, and that big smile comes for good reason. 3rd kill of the night. Rather, 13th kill of the night for Gibson. Parra pounds it over the net, but is returned by Baylor. Raiola sets for Bramschreiber. Whistle, Baylor point. Here is Elise McGee with an intimidating approach to service. All 6'4", soaring through the air, sending it across the net. TCU trying to get in system. Baylor with a big point.
Allie Check with the block, Baylor's 7th block on the night. 3 at least of those from Allie Check.
Too long. Point TCU brings them to 15-11. Gee, and 20 for Parra.
Yeah, Star Watch. I love that header. That's exactly what it is. We've said these names over and over again tonight. 20 kills, 16 kills each. So much fun to watch these players swing.
Nothing Bramschreiber could do but get a piece of it. Allie Check with another kill. Her 6th of the night. And here's Briseño. Baylor, Bibembe and Check announcing their presence with authority.
What a night these two have had on the block for Baylor.
I mean, if it's not one, it's going to be the other as they raise together in unison.
Yeah.
Briseño hops and delivers. Wow, Bree Green. Baylor returns it and tries to settle down. Parra, beautiful return. The accuracy she has showed tonight from long distance and short, nothing short of amazing. Bibembe lowers the boom. Another look at this gem.
Man, what a set by Avery Carlson, and then Manuela Bibembe finishing it off.
Ulafatu. Knowles. Point for TCU. Didn't think that was going to work out, and it did. Simpson rises and powers the point home.
10 kills on the night for Riley Simpson, second only to Elise McGee for Baylor. Quite the outside hitter game that we're seeing tonight with both Baylor and TCU.
And this season, Simpson has risen to the occasion in big games, making big plays, and that right there, another one of them.
She is. She's a player everyone was so excited about, and then really has stepped in and showed all that she brings to the table this year.
And there is Knowles dumping it over the net for a three-point advantage. McGee, as Parra tried to slide to the deflection and couldn't.
No, she really made that one look easy. I mean, effortless.
17 kills on the night for Elise McGee. Hitting percentage at .250. Babembe. Knowles. Knowles will step aside. Graduate transfer, excuse me, the graduate player from Waxahachie, Texas.
Not far from here or Fort Worth. I bet there are lots of Knowles in the stands tonight. Knowles? Knowles?
Knowles, yeah.
I've always struggled with when it ends in S.
I think Knowles. I think you're good.
Thanks.
We keep going back and forth in an exciting fourth set.
Yeah, we talked about how important this matchup was going to be, that TCU's trying to prove to the NCAA selection committee that they deserve to be in the tournament. Baylor trying to prove that they deserve to host. And so kind of what we're seeing is kind of the story we wanted, right? Of one team punches, the other team punches right back.
And did you see Ali Check just elevate and find a way to almost hit it straight down?
Yes, take another look at that. Exactly what you said. She just found a way to elevate and hit it straight down.
Playing the angles, and here's Carlson. Haven't said her name nearly enough. Gibson, last touch by Carlson. Point TCU, they have now hit the 20 mark.
Gibson, 14 kills, but hitting 303. I mean, very, very efficient night for Jalen Gibson.
She taught herself how to juggle in 2 days. I mean, that's...
And more impressive than her statistics.
Yes.
Her juggling career.
Brasinho and Czech trying to do some damage, and they do. 20-19. Both of these teams are lathered up and up to the summit now, as we have seen some great play. Wow, McGee with the
My
ace.
goodness, that'll certainly do it.
Tied at 20. If you were looking for evidence that she could do it all, here it is.
I mean, just couldn't draw that up better. Tight to the line, drops right over the net. Elise McGee, what can't she do?
So here's Elise McGee after the TCU timeout. We are locked at 20. Off the ace, Raiola returns. Brasinho bats it into the net. Whistle blown, TCU point. Jalen Gibson with 13 kills on the night. Carlson sets for Check. And Ali Check says, hey guys, we are not done. 21-21 is the score. And there's Brasinho banging the drum. Puts it in play. Almost too much for Raiola. Gibson, nice dig. Green almost finds a soft spot, and McGee returns.
Wow, what a rally. Elise McGee finds a way to finish it.
19 kills for Elise McGee.
Situation or asked for it. I think there's a lot to be learned from watching his team battle back in this fourth set.
Parr with the touch. Ties it at 22. Boy, she can silence a crowd. 22 kills on the night for the junior from Sinaloa, Mexico. Going to school at UT, winning a championship there, and transferring to TCU, and she's brought her winning ways. Check. Big time answer by Green. Check again. Drops it over the net. Last touch by TCU. Point Baylor. Ulafatu from San Fran, California. Marin Catholic High School product. There's Ulafatu again. Carlson sets. Simpson too strong. Another tie game. 23-23.
All comes down to a couple of points here, and Ryan McGuire hoping it goes to 5.
Every moment, every sequence, so precious. Megan Walsh gonna start up this final sequence. Set 4, TCU leads 2-1, Baylor leads 24-23.
Manuela Bibimbe on the outside, taking Baylor to set point in set 4, a must-win set for Baylor.
Riley Simpson will serve it up. Ulafatu returns. Sylvester shining in a big-time moment. Another look at this. 3rd kill of the night from Sylvester.
Man, couldn't have been more textbook on that block.
24-24. McGee, I mean, you don't stop that.
You really don't. There's just too much heat from Elise McGee on a set like that on the outside.
And as the game has marched on, her timing with her teammates has only gotten better.
Yeah.
21 kills for McGee. Bibimbe, set point for Baylor. Gibson.
Wow.
Point TCU. The Horned Frogs refuse to pack it in.
Take another look at that. What a swing on the outside by Gibson. 15 kills on the night.
And here's Taylor Raiola, the senior, going to put it in play. Point for Baylor.
Not the serve that you want to miss throughout the night.
Raiola getting support from her teammates. Baylor now on the brink of pushing this one to a final set. Carlson. Out of bounds.
And we continue.
And a nice job of communicating by TCU there. No one touches it. Cecily Bramschreiber. Wow, every time Baylor needs a point, the answer is right there. Number 21. 22nd kill of the night for Elise McGee.
Just that hammer swing cross court. Elise McGee cannot be stopped.
Catches the net. Green catches heat. Parra delivers. Briseño. As the Baylor bench clears out, McGee slides for it. Can't get it. 27-27. This is competition at its best.
It really is. 27-27. Goodness gracious, this 4th set.
Gibson, who had a career-high 23 kills earlier this season, continues to play out of her mind tonight. And Baylor miscues. TCU now knocking on the door. This is match point, folks. And there is Gibson.
Baylor out of subs with Ulufatu having to rotate to the front row.
Gibson digs it out. Para finishes it off. And TCU's bench comes pouring out onto the court. And an unbelievable finish. But who else would you have picked than Melanie Para to deliver the death blow?
Melanie Para, certainly as good as advertised. What a night for the TCU Horned Frogs. Jason Williams coming back home to Waco, Texas on his birthday, as we said, in winning.
समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे। ना मिली मजा तो खूब गोरियाई रे, ना मिली मजा तो खूब गोरियाई रे। ढेर हमारा मिल हार जाई रे, तोरा जैसा ढेर हमारा मिल हार जाई रे, तोरा जैसा ढेर हमारा मिल हार जाई रे। झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे। भतार तोर भतार तोर भतार तोर खाई रे। झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे। केतन भतार लगे बनबे पवित्र, जान जाई सब तोरा का पावे भीतर, जान जाई सब तोरा का पावे भीतर। केतन भतार करबे ना सगाई रे सनज बिहारी से ते करबे ना सगाई रे ज्योति सुकेश जी से करबे ना सगाई रे झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे।
सत्यम रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो खोरी पाकर।